You know, niggas gotta get their priorities together. Got their mind on the wrong things, spending their money in the wrong way.
Trapaholics, real trap shit.
Say you need that car with the rims and a trunk, just like Jim. It's more than life. Yeah.
I'm telling you. Talk to him.
Say you need that LV bag with the belt and the hat.
That's all you got though.
It's more than life. Yeah.
Talk to him. Real.
Say you wanna turn up at the club, light some bottles, impress them girls. It's more than life.
Fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saints and Appetizers podcast. And who dat? And I'm Ethan, and I don't have a lot to get into this evening, but what I do have to get into is pretty controversial, I guess, pretty concerning, I guess, depending on if it's true or not. But let's get right into that, I guess, right now. And so can I get a menu? And so far, most of the people that I've been hearing haven't really wanted to get too deep into this. They really haven't wanted to divulge too deep into this because they don't really know if this is true or not, I guess. And what I'm talking about is the Marcus Maye incident, his little possible gun incident that happened on Thursday. I guess that was Thursday the 20. I'm trying to think what day that was. That was still August, so that was Thursday. That was let's see. No, so that was actually the 1st. That was September 1st when he did that. So, but that's when the news broke, actually, was Thursday. But he actually did it on the 29th, August 29th. So, but first I'm just going to read the police report, if some of you maybe haven't heard it, even though it happened a little while back now. So I just want to read that first, but I'm going to dive into it a little more, but I'm not going to lambaste him either, because like I said, I want all the news to come out and, you know, wait to see if it's true or not, because we don't really know. We got to see, well, we got to want all the facts to come out. But a lot of people I've heard, other Saints media people, podcasters, they don't really even seem to want to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit, see if that makes people feel better or see if it makes people feel worse. But yeah, like I said, sometimes when I talk about it, it makes people feel better. Sometimes it makes people feel worse. But I'm going to touch base on it a little bit. But first, I'm going to read the police report. So let's do that first. And so here it is. So Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Department office has arrested Marcus Maye, 29, after conducting a investigation in a road rage incident that occurred Monday, August 29th, 2020, in Mayeday. Maye was arrested this morning on a warrant that was obtained for his arrest for one count of aggravated assault with a firearm. Maye was identified as the driver of a black SUV that was involved in an incident in which he is accused of pointing a firearm at another vehicle that was occupied by several juvenile females. Maye was booked at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center and was released after posting a $30,000 bond. So, yeah, if any of that's true, that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious, and those just in general are some serious allegations. And then shortly after, I'm sure, of course, statements from Marcus Maye's. This is a good attorney, obviously. Marcus Maye's attorney, Eric Hessler. Marcus Maye denies the allegations from a motor vehicle incident and looks forward to defending himself when all the facts come out. So, yeah, of course you're going to say that whether it's true or not, and that's a smart thing to do. If anything, you're definitely going to, if you have a good attorney, you're definitely going to want to let them handle everything with something like that. But yeah, man, the Saints, when it comes to their DB room, it's crazy that this actually happened before. I don't know if the Saints knew about this prior to the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade or not, because this actually happened on Monday, and then they traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on Tuesday. So I wonder if they must have not have known, because I have no idea how you could have traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson when you knew this. So there's no way they could have known that, because that would have just been that would have just been negligent on their part if they actually would have known that. But this is something. If this is actually true, I just couldn't back this if he actually did this, because the worst part of this is, if this is true, is that it involves juveniles, children, because if children could get you that heated, man, that I would probably have some choice words for him. And what's so bad about this would probably fall in line to one of the Saints' worst decisions that they've probably made when it comes to like defensive backs, since them letting Malcolm Jenkins walk. Malcolm Jenkins and Roman Harper walking in the 2014 free agency offseason, and then signing Jarius Byrd to the biggest free agent safety contract in history back in 2014, because then, of course, Malcolm Jenkins went on to have like a fringe Hall of Fame career in Philadelphia, and was their team captain for like 7-8 seasons, and won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. And then Roman Harper went on to have 2 or 3 good solid seasons with the Panthers, and I think he even had like 4 interceptions or something like that in the 2015 season when they won a Super Bowl. And a lot of people thought he was washed and horrible after he was made to look like a clown in the 2011 game when Vernon Davis just made him look horrible. But yeah, this would probably be the worst decision they've ever made when it comes to defensive backs, when keeping Marcus Williams, if they knew about this, and then trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and especially if they knew about it, because man, what horrible luck to trade Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and then 2 days later it comes out that he has a road rage and is pointing a gun at children. And I think I also read that he did it right on Airline Drive, which is just right near the Saints practice facility. Like, come on, man! Like you're doing it like a stone's throw away from your work. But like I said, we don't know if it's true or not. And the thing is that this could all just go away, because a similar case like this happened just a year ago. Not quite the same, but still it involved a gun, and we thought it was over. We thought this was maybe actually worse, because we thought Marshawn Lattimore was, that they had like camera. They had recording cop cam on Marshawn Lattimore, and recording of Marshawn Lattimore, because we thought he maybe spend jail time or prison time when last year when he was caught in Ohio with sitting in a car with his buddies smoking a blunt, and they caught him with a gun down between his feet underneath between the seats with a gun underneath the passenger seat or the driver's seat. And hell, the gun they found, it had like the serial number like scratched off on it, and I think it was maybe like stolen and stuff. And heck, we thought Marshawn Lattimore was gonna get suspended for at least half the season, if not thrown in jail or prison. And hell, nothing even came of that. And we thought the worst was gonna come of that. We thought if at least Marshawn Lattimore was going to get suspended at least 4 games, probably the season, eight games. That just disappeared, And respect to those police officers. If you've ever watched that video, they were actually really nice to Marshawn Lattimore in that video. And like I said, that just disappeared. That just disappeared. And once again, with like a story like this, like I said, there's video of the Marshawn Lattimore case, video recording, video. Looked like Marshawn Lattimore was high as a kite in that video. Like there, it was proof of that video, and like I said, it just disappeared. But in this case, like I said, they said there was photos, at least photos of the black SUV, and it had matching license plate to identify it as his SUV. But once again, similar to the Alvin Kamara case, they say that there's a video and stuff. But like I know this case is fairly new, but like the Alvin Kamara case, like I haven't seen the video yet. But where's the video? Like a lot of times when like police brutality videos and things come out like that, it's out like right away. Like it's there. It's like when it happens, it's there. You would think with like a case like this where a guy has a road rage incident and is pointing guns at juvenile females, you would think that video would be out like right away. You think that would be out like instantly. You think that would be all over social media. But where's the video? Like where is it? Where's the proof? So if all they have is photos of just the license plate in the car, like if they don't actually have him, if all they have is the license plate and his car, and they don't actually have him hanging out the window pointing his gun at these girls, then it's he said, she said, as far as I'm concerned. So it may just all just dissipate and go nowhere and just fade into abyss as far as I'm concerned, because it's not out of the realm of possibility for juveniles or just anyone to lie, make up things like this, because he may have got mad at these girls or just juveniles in general and maybe whipped out in front of them and started yelling at them, but maybe he didn't pull his gun on them, and maybe they fabricated the story, or maybe it did happen. Like I said, you just have to wait for all the facts to come out. But like I said, I think I just wanted to get into it a little more than anyone else has. But that's my elaboration on that, and I just wanted to get into it a little bit more. But we have to wait for all the facts to come out before we can crucify him or let him walk, let him come back into the facility and see him hopefully play. Well, that's what we would hope. Play great week 1. Hopefully see him get a pick 6 off of Marcus Mariota week 1. But anyways, the next thing, we don't really have much. Really wasn't much news. That was the worst thing, really. The only news really, terrible news for the Saints. But the other thing was just a couple injury updates. Looks like James Hurst is on the mend. He just had a comment saying that he actually, with his health, he said that he feels 100%. And with some of the injuries on the offensive line, especially offensive tackle, that's one of the best. That kind of softens the blow with the Marcus Maye news. That's a really comforting. Gives you a little bit of a soft landing from hearing that news. So that's great to hear. And so hopefully that he can be a stalwart at the left tackle, and hopefully we can put some armor around his foot or something so he can stay healthy all year, because we're going to need him, and we're going to need the offensive line in general just to stay healthy, which it couldn't stay healthy. I think last season they maybe played like one game. All the starters played like maybe 1 or 2 games together all year, and then it was just constant flux of different players the entire year. But that's just great news to hear that he says that he feels 100%. Do I actually believe that? Probably not, but hear him say that is like I said, it's comforting. And then last bit, last subject, last thing is to hear. This is probably not a great thing to hear, but it's just a little thing to add is why Paulson Adebo's been missing is I guess he injured his ankle on like the last play of practice leading up to the Los Angeles Chargers preseason game, and I guess he's feeling better. He thinks that he'll be ready for the Week 1 game at Atlanta, but you never know. I guess that will have been 2 weeks away, but with ankle injuries, you never know. Two weeks to heal. That's not a lot of time, but hopefully hopefully he'll be ready. Definitely we'll need him, especially if Marcus Maye's out, and especially now that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's been traded away, and I'm sure we won't have the luxury of Roby being able to move to the outside. Roby will more than likely be playing the slot now, so definitely we'll need Paulson Adebo healthy and able to play, and hopefully like James Hurst, hopefully he's 100%, because it would be terrible to rush him back early, to force him back early, and him going out there on a still hurt ankle and come back early and hurt it worse, kind of like Michael Thomas in 2020. They kind of brought him back early. He hurt it, and then he missed games, and then he came back for the playoff game against the Chicago Bears and the Buccaneers and hurt it worse, and it just made. I think that's probably what kind of added on to why he's still hurt. And I would hate to see something similar to that with Adobe. Of course, it's not. I would not think it was that, but don't want it to be a season-long ordeal, because like people know, ankles are tricky, but hopefully it's not a nagging thing. And like I said, with less depth at defensive back now, it makes things trickier than they were before. And like I said, you're kind of forced to have Bradley or Roby playing the slot. You don't have that luxury of being like, oh well, we can rest guys due to injury now. It's not like you don't really have that luxury now. But anyways, I think that's all I have for you now to have this evening. And with that, can I get a check, please?